I really love that all of our temples, almost all, the ones I've seen, they include stained glass. Because to me, stained glass is this very visual reminder about the promise you read in these verses, that he can take all things and make them work together for your good. The reason I see that in stained glass is because of the process of making stained glass. If you go on the printable, I give you some samples that you could show your kids, or you could pull some up on your phone or your iPad and show them what stained glass looks like. That it's these great big pieces of glass that have been deliberately broken so that they can form these images and shapes. In fact, I remember my mom as a little kid, she would made stained glass windows for a season. And I remember watching her break these big pieces of blue glass into these small little pieces and deliberately placing them in the pattern and, chipping away the edges or finding some creative new way to use one that broke weirdly. And that's the concept of stained glass. So if you go on the object lesson notes, you see a link out to, I think it's the Rome temple window that they are making out of stained glass. You could show that process to your kids and talk about it. And then you want to apply it. If it were me, I would let your kids just start to paint and then start to teach the principle. So in the printable this week, I give you these stained glass frames. It's really just a black and white print of different trees of life. And my hope is that you'll go, since it's back to school time, that you'll go and you'll grab some watercolors from the discount bin and let your kids paint in class. I know it seems messy, but watercolor doesn't really get messy and it doesn't take too long to dry. And even if they only get a fraction of the leaves painted, you're trying to help them understand the principle. So as they paint, talk through what the Lord teaches us in these verses. That no matter what happens in this life, breaks that happen because of your own choices, breaks that happen to the glass because of the choices of others that rammed into you, breaks that happen just because this mortal world is a hard place to live where disease happens and bodies break down and adversities that happen just because of the mortal experience that we're in, that those all create breaks. But when we take those broken pieces to the Lord and we turn to him, he creates something that didn't exist before, something that light can shine through. In fact, for me, I would maybe, as you're testifying, think of someone in your life that is like a piece of stained glass. For me, when you see someone whose soul is a bit weathered, they've been through a lot, they've experienced a lot, and they're still strong and faithful, it's like this pane of stained glass. There's all these breaks, all these things that could have broken them down. But because they've turned to the Lord, it has become something that when the light shines through it, you can't look away. It is reverent. There are people in my life that I can look at like that and think, you are beautiful because of all of those adversities that you experienced and because you very clearly turned those broken pieces over to the Lord. I can see his, lidded lines between all those broken fragments, and I can see what he created in you. So maybe take some time in your class to talk about people like that who allows the light of Christ to shine through their experiences so that the rest of us can have our breath taken away when we look at what they've accomplished. And anyway, hopefully this object lesson helps set the stage for that. I give you a couple different sizes in the printable. There's a big one that you can paint, or there's small ones that are designed to be more like a bookmark that your kids could tuck into their scriptures. But either way, I hope it helps you teach this lesson. Maybe refer back to President Johnson's words about being whole and help your kids understand that the broken parts of their life can be made good. They can be brought together to work for their good if they turn it over to the Lord's hands.